Genius. Hi, I'm back. So, have you ever had a very random, out of nowhere synchronicity or coincidence where you end up around a few people that, in a way, change your life? In a few days, you just have this unbelievable magical bond where some of you that don't have any families, that starts to feel like you are around a family, you know? It's really hard to describe that bond, where you just know they're a phone call away, they're a text away, they'll stop what they're doing, they'll immediately want to know what you need if you're okay. It's quite magical. So I was with my friends, brothers, and sisters for a few days. We had an unbelievable time, made a lot of memories, and I'm back here. A lot to do, a lot to talk about, but today I wanted to talk about things that happen in life that come out of nowhere, absolute synchronicities, magical coincidences. Why do those things happen? Are some people just lucky? I wanted to talk about that. I just finished a meditation with my community, my beautiful mystical beings that I just meditated with. And because I was gone for a few days, I figured I would talk to them. So I gave a little speech and had a little meditation. And we have a healing meditation coming up, coherence healing coming up in about 90 minutes. I wanted to talk about when you see, we rarely have an idea of how powerful we are, how divine we can be. We have this infinite loving intelligence within us. We have this infinite loving divine inside of us that can come out when we get out of the way and give us things that we want, give us the experiences and opportunities and people and connections that we need or want. And you know how Abraham Hicks talks about vibrational family, frequency family? Those are the people I'm talking about, that I was with. That, you know, Abraham Hicks says that the real family that you can have are your vibrational match. It's funny. You know, when you're around people and you can finish each other's sentences, you can just, if you just share emotional things or emotions around the room, and all of a sudden the other person, the only thing they can say is, yeah, what you said. Exactly. You know, that kind of a really beautiful vibrational match, that can only happen when your state of being becomes a certain way. You know, when people say you become the average of the people that you spend time with, that's because we affect each other's fields. And the energy in our fields affect other fields that collide with them. This is becoming a little bit of a common knowledge that our field, our aura, can have openings and gaps if your energy is low, if your frequency is low. And those openings and gaps can actually allow low vibrational, negative energy stuff in you, which is what essentially disease is. All disease is lowering of frequency. So when we do coherence healing meditations, one of the things we're doing is we are establishing a constructive interference among the field. So all the healers will connect their energies to each other. And then all of us with this amplified, very high amplitude of energy that we have just not created because of the constructive interference is now interfering with the field of the Healy. So we're creating this very high vibrational space where those gaps in the openings of the aura, the field, will close, and then the field energy will become to thicken. That not only protects you from the ocean of energy that is always around you, but it raises the energy within you, because it's the energy in the field that affects the matter in the hologram, not the matter affecting the energy. It's always the other way around. I've talked about this example of a physician that was wondering, why is it that only 15% of the people that have breast cancer, no, only 15% of the people that have the breast cancer gene express breast cancer. So he started to study the field around those people, and he figured out these patterns, these specific openings in specific places in the field, and he found out that he was able to predict if this person is going to get breast cancer in their life or not, based on those common indicators, those identifiers that he had established. And there were people that did not have breast cancer, but they had those same markers in their field energy, then that they then expressed breast cancer later on in life, or soon after in their life. And he was able to have those people close those gaps, change the energy in their field, and those people never got breast cancer. So it is important for us to understand and identify what is our desired state of being. Now, we don't know what we don't know, right? There's a ceiling to the knowledge that we currently have. But the beautiful part is that the more your state of being energy, the frequency of your vibration of your being goes up, and the moment it gets closer to the ceiling, you can never touch the ceiling. That's the beautiful part. The moment you get closer to the ceiling rises. Now, what does that mean? What that means is the closer you get into the higher and higher vibrational frequency, the more the truth of the existence in your life unfolds. So you get to find the truth at a higher and higher amplitude, let's say. I don't know if I'm using the right word here. But the reality of what you know expands. This can happen through breath work. This can happen through intentional understanding of you becoming conscious. So when you become conscious and aware of what you're thinking and feeling, you can change that. So I was talking to people in the community that when you get negative thoughts and emotions, you need to actively remind yourself that those belong to your old personality, not to your future desired state of being that you're actively trying to pursue. And the longer you do that, I've talked about this even last year in some of my videos, that the refractory period of your desired state of being will increase as those negative thoughts and emotion that you constantly, actively will remind yourself that belongs to the old self, not the new self. And you are in this transition period that the little bit of old self that still remains must now go, by simply you being aware of when you creep into it, right? Old patterns, everything. And the more you identify it, the quicker you identify it, the lesser the refractory period becomes for your old personality. And the more you can actively change your energy, your emotions, your thoughts, which feeds on each other, right? The thoughts, feelings, and depending on your state of being, you make different decisions. The more open you are, and the more open you become because of that, as you get closer to the ceiling moves up, allowing you to see more and more into the infinite possibilities that are available to us, right? We can't conceive of what that means, that you have unlimited possibilities and you have infinite versions of you out there. How do you, so when your energy goes up, your state of being becomes more and more desired you, as you experience your new realities, new circumstances, new coincidences, new synchronicities, new networking, new people, new energy, and then you learn from each other, and when you have mystical experiences, when you meet the beings, because there are beings and other entities out there, we just can't see them because their energy is, their frequency is a lot different than us. And humans are essentially blind, right? We can only see a very small, thin, if you look at the spectrum of energies and the light that we can observe with our senses, is very tiny. So we can't see most things in the existence. But when you raise your energy, when you open up your pineal gland, that antenna, that now you're not really seeing with your eyes, you're seeing with your antenna, right? The pineal gland is not the only antenna in our body, right? Greg Braden talked about this at great length, that our DNA and all the nerves in our bodies are tiny, tiny antennas. They're they're soft antennas. And they can receive and send information into the quantum, into the field. So we're always having this communication. Every cell has DNA. And it's not the DNA just in the nucleus. There's not just DNA in the nucleus, there's DNA outside of nucleus. And those DNA inside and outside are communicating with each other because they're both antennas. Not only do they talk to each other, but they talk to outside environment. Now, your inner world also have an outer environment, right? There's an outside of the cell, and then there's the inside of the cell, and then there's the collective outside of the body and inside of the body. So there's these layers of information exchange that is occurring at the same time. So it's a lot more complicated than one could simply just have a conversation about we're light and we're emitting light and we're absorbing light and we're doing this. Focus on your desired state of being. I cannot begin to tell you some of the wildest synchronicities and coincidences that have been happening. They've been happening because I'm constantly, actively focused on my desired future state of being. And when that happens, I feel like the divine, I'm talking too fast, aren't I? I just had a really unbelievable experience in the meditation, so my energy is a little too high right now. And the breath work, wow, that was a wild one this morning. I went to my happy place 4 times. So, what was I going with? So, yeah, the desired state of being, the future desired state of being. And you start to notice things with this, wow, where did this come from, right? When the coincidences come literally out of nowhere. When synchronicities comes out of completely nowhere. When invitations come out of nowhere. When you run into people that surprises you. That how did I end up here at the right place at the right time with the right people? And then there's this beautiful energetic bond. There's this beautiful natural flow of communication. And there's this openness. There's this state of vulnerability and openness and safety that you feel, under which you can completely unfold and have your divine self not only help you, but help them. Create this beautiful bubble of beauty within the synchronicity and coincidences around you that everybody can now collectively grow within in many different ways. So that's what I wanted to mention quickly. I know some of you guys missed me, but I needed this to be my time, and this was very important to me. And it was unbelievable. But it was also private. That's why I'm not talking about it. It was for me. So I hope you guys are not skipping days of doing the work. Don't be skipping breath work and meditation. If you are skipping days, you might just be falling in love with your old self and not your new self. So keep going.